That was wonderful. I'm still in the moment enjoying that delicious chocolate. Thank you. I'm enjoying your chocolate. Um, so thank you for that. I am excited to share with y'all today. As Melissa introduced, I am a physician by training, and I practice obesity medicine, but that's not why I'm here today. I love coaching, and I am a neurolinguistic programming coach. And what that means is that I deal with the subconscious, and I built that into my practice intentionally to help my clients to really, on a deeper level, understand what it means to have a transformation. So I help my clients to shift in terms of doing into being. So it's a lot of identity shift work that we do, a lot of emotional, um, dealing with a lot of emotional overwhelm and stress that tends to overtake us in our day to day that can keep us in survival mode. And so I help my clients to work beneath the surface to make those shifts and to make those shifts last sustainably, essentially. And so today I would love to share with you a technique that I use with my coaching clients called anchoring. And anchoring is a technique that links a specific feeling or state of mind to a trigger or a cue. And the cue could be something like a smell, a sound, or even a gesture. I'm sure many of us have experienced anchoring without even realizing it. And so I'll give you a few examples, and hopefully that this will resonate with some of you. How many of us have heard a song come up on the radio, or we hear a song and we're instantly transported to a time in our lives? I know for me, it's the Backstreet Boys, and I'm back in the seventh grade, having a good old time with my girlfriends and speaking out at school and all of the things that came along with being a rowdy seventh grader. Or maybe the smell of your favorite meal will take you back to good times with a loved one, or a specific cologne or perfume will remind you of a time in your life. And so, in this way, this physical external cue, right, in this case, the song or the smell, is eliciting this internal response in your body, this feeling of nostalgia or fun or happiness or even sometimes sadness. And in that same way, today, we're going to be using anchoring intentionally to allow us to bring back a feeling when we need it. And so, taking inspiration from Inspired today, we're going to be anchoring that feeling of inspiration in our bodies. And so, I invite everyone, if it feels good to you, we'll start by kind of grounding in our bodies. Melissa did a great job of helping us to kind of get into that state of mind, and I'll just take us further along that path. So what we're going to do before we jump into it, actually, I explain what we'll be doing, is I'm going to ask you to, or invite you to anchor this feeling of inspiration to a knuckle. And so, as I said, we can do this intentionally by linking that what we're about to do to a physical trigger. And in this case, it'll be tapping on a knuckle. And so you can choose any knuckle on any hand. If you've done this before, then you want to avoid a place that you might already have an anchor. But if this is your first time, literally any knuckle will do. And I'll be walking you through the process, but when the time comes, you typically, the way we experience an emotion as it comes over us is if you were to imagine a wave, and as the wave kind of, as if you were just to stand on the shore of the beach and wait for the wave to come at you, you would experience the wave, kind of the crest of the wave, and then the rest of it going past you. So if you imagine an emotion in that same way, where that wave kind of washes over, I want you to, when that wave feels like it's at its highest, at its peak, you're going to go ahead and hold down on your chosen knuckle, and you hold down for a few seconds. And then as that peak wanes or kind of fades, you're going to go ahead and let go. It may take 10 to 15 seconds, that's fine, but go ahead and just hold on for as long as that wave of emotion is kind of peaking. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? I would love to answer any questions before we jump into the actual technique. And is it okay if people come off of mute, Melissa, or if you want to just go ahead and put
Absolutely.
comments in the, yeah, or comments, questions in the comments, that'll be fine too.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi. How many practices do you think it would take to kind of establish this?
Excellent question. So, if you pick a memory that is very, that has a lot of emotion in it, so you can remember something very vividly and experience it very vividly, then sometimes just the one time is enough to kind of get you a really, what we call a strong anchor, where you can recreate it and feel those emotions come flooding back. Sometimes, depending on the emotion you're trying to anchor, it may not be something that is either recent or that you've experienced recently. And so you may have to get into that feeling without it organically coming through you. And so in that case, you might have to do what we call stacking the anchor. So you might have to pull from different memories of that same emotion or similar emotions. And then you can always repeat the process over and over again on that same knuckle to build that memory or that strength of that anchor.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. All right. Good. So if there are no other questions, give it another second here. All right. So given the theme of inspiration, before we start, I would love to ask if you can remember the last time you felt completely and totally inspired. And I want you to just kind of have that moment to think about that before we move into it. Okay. Does everyone have an inspired moment? And if you choose, if you want to go off script and choose a different emotion, you can just replace that emotion inspired for another emotion that you would rather have anchored to your knuckle as well. Do you have one, Liza?
Yes, I think so. Uh, I was inspired in class the other day.
Good. Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. So I'll lead us through a quick little grounding and then we'll go into the technique if that's okay. And if everyone feels comfortable, I have you go ahead and close your eyes and a hand on your chest and one on your belly. Have you take a nice inhale through your nose and out through your mouth. And if it feels good to you, I'd love to invite you to take an extra sip of air with every inhale. So it sounds like this. Do that 2 more times. And once more. I invite you to return to your regular breathing rate and keeping your eyes closed. I would love to have you focus on a spot between your eyebrows, middle of your forehead. And as you do, I'd love for you to imagine this beautiful bright light right above your head. This beautiful light is a column of light that goes up, up, up as high as you can imagine until it taps into love, God, the universe, and all that is. Imagine this light now coming down. As it does, it fills your head, and your head becomes a glowing beam of light. Imagine this light now moving down past your neck and into your chest, sending healing and loving emotions towards the emotions and feelings that you're working through. Imagine this light now moving down past your stomach, past your waist, down into your thighs, past your knees, all the way down to your feet. And from your feet, I want you to imagine this light going deep down to the center of the earth, as far as you can imagine. grounding you and helping you to feel fully supported. And from this place of grounding, I want you to think about a time that you felt totally, completely inspired. Remember a specific time. Go right back into that time. Go down into your body. See what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, and really tap into those feelings of inspiration. And as those feelings come over you now, I want you to go ahead and press down on your chosen knuckle and hold it down for as long as that emotion is peaking for you in your body now. As that emotion dissipates and begins to fade, go ahead and release that knuckle. And when you do, you can open your eyes, and I'd love to see an emoji just so I know that everyone's good, that we're done. Awesome. Perfect. Lovely. I think that's everyone. Okay, now let's test our anchor. So let's go ahead and to test it, we're just going to tap gently on the chosen knuckle where we placed our anchor and feel those emotions of inspiration come over you. If it doesn't feel as strong as you would like, you can always go back and just repeat this process with another instance or another memory of inspiration and stack it just like we just did. But I'd love to hear from you ladies if you're feeling totally inspired.
This for me is the first time I've used this particular anchoring practice, which I have fallen in love with. Thank you for sharing this with us.
You're
I've
welcome.
I do a lot of guided imagery, receiving it, but also facilitating it. And this was the first time that I had envisioned a light going as high as possible and as low as possible, from the crown of my head out from the bottom of my feet, and it was really, really vivid imagery. And I do believe that that helped with anchoring on my knuckles. So now I'm just thinking about, ooh, I have 9 more knuckles and lots of emotions.
Exactly. I love that. That's beautiful, Melissa. Thank you for sharing. Yes. I love this technique because sometimes you just need a quick shift when you're in the moment and you're feeling, let's say, lack of motivation. And especially as business owners, sometimes we do need to have that moment of inspiration kind of, we don't have time to waste and we're just like, I want to be inspired right now, or whatever the emotion is. I use it often for my clients if they're feeling unmotivated because as I said, I work with a lot of people who are trying to lose weight. And so that's a typical one that I help to anchor is motivation. Calm is another big one that I help people to anchor. So exactly as you said, you can take your pick. You've got 9 other knuckles and lots more emotions to go. And the beauty is you can actually kind of have a nice cocktail too. So if you know before you do a certain thing, you'd like to feel a mixture of different things. So let's say it's inspired and calm and brave, for example, then you could kind of stack all of those emotions on the same knuckle too.
We have a classical pianist amongst us right now, so I'm curious if that resonates. Be like playing a song.
Nice. Well, thank you for letting me share that with you all tonight or today. Um, I really appreciate that. I enjoyed that a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. And for those who are here right now, keep in mind that every day this week there is a 2-minute meditation on the My Retreat app. So you're welcome to continue with this practice using your anchor as you use that meditation before or after. And of course, if you are able to connect with Dr. Aaliah Al-Barwani, you're welcome to do so on LinkedIn. Here in the chat, we'll keep it open for a little bit longer, a few more minutes. But we look forward to staying in touch with each one of you. And thank you so much for taking the time for yourself today to show up for yourself. So with that, until next time, take good care.